Breaking news, breaking news. I titled this video, Man Threatens Trump. But you might recognize this man right here. This is former FBI Director James Comey. And it appears he's in some big trouble with the law, folks. He was escorted today by Secret Service agents and taken to the D.C. field office. This is stemming around a post that James Comey made on social media. A post dealing with some seashells. 8647 that he posted. And people are saying that that was a direct threat, 8647, to Donald Trump. Now, I want to share some things with all of you because this is big. He could be arrested any day now and charged with threatening the President of the United States. This is the former director of the FBI. Let me share with you what's going on. I'm going to share his post, his response to his post, the response by the FBI Director, Kash Patel, Kristi Noem, head of the Department of Homeland Security, agents escorting him to D.C., and some backstory on what is going on. Check it out. So James Comey, the former FBI Director, posted this on his Instagram, a message just right after he posted that 8647 post with seashells. And he said, I posted earlier a picture of some shells I saw today on a beach walk, which I assumed were a political message. I didn't realize some folks associated those numbers with violence. It never occurred to me, but I oppose violence of any kind, so I took the post down. Let me know what you think. This is a tweet coming from the FBI Director, Kash Patel. We are aware of the recent social media posts by former FBI Director James Comey, directed at President Trump. We are in communication with the Secret Service and Director Curran. Primary jurisdiction is with the Secret Service on these matters, and we, the FBI, will provide all necessary support. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem tweeted out, disgraced former FBI Director James Comey just called for the assassination of President Trump. DHS and Secret Service is investigating this threat and will respond appropriately. Speaker of the House Mike Johnson tweeted out, President Trump has already survived 2 assassination attempts. Now, former disgraced FBI Director James Comey is either threatening to kill Donald Trump or suggesting someone should. This is as outrageous as it is dangerous. Grateful for Secretary Noem and FBI Director Kash Patel are looking into this.
Former FBI Director James Comey is under fire today for a social media post that the Trump administration claims is a call to assassinate the president.
I could hardly believe it. I couldn't believe it when I saw it.
Comey's post showed stones and seashells arranged in the numbers 86, 47. 47 refers to the 47th president, and 86, which the dictionary defines as to eject or ban, to remove. But some say it can also mean to kill.
86 is frequently used as a call sign for murdering or getting rid of someone.
Today, Trump world is on the attack.
He deserves to be interrogated.
James Comey, in my view, should be held accountable and put behind bars for this.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem posted, DHS and Secret Service is investigating this threat and will respond appropriately. FBI Director Kash Patel says, we are in communication with the Secret Service and we, the FBI, will provide all necessary support. Comey has been an outspoken critic of the president ever since Trump fired him back in 2017. But today he says he meant no threat by the post. He claims he found the shells arranged in that formation as he was taking his daily walk along the shore near his beach house in North Carolina. I didn't realize some folks associate those numbers with violence. It never occurred to me, but but I oppose violence of any kind, so I took the post down. The president isn't buying it.
He knew exactly what that meant. A child knows what that meant. If you're the FBI director and you don't know what that meant assassination.
But lots of people today are saying the outrage is total hypocrisy. During Joe Biden's presidency, 8646 appeared on Trump supporters' shirts and hats.
There are still stickers saying 86 Biden, meaning 8646, that are being sold on eBay. There's no call to say that those are threats. There's no investigation into eBay for selling them.
So could Comey actually face prosecution?
The bar is very high for what is a threat versus what is a statement versus what is a message. It doesn't fit the legal standard that a federal prosecutor would have accepted.
Gabbard's the director of national intelligence. Are you buying that the former FBI director didn't know what 86 Trump meant?
Absolutely not, Jesse. That is a ridiculous and insane statement to make, certainly within this context, but especially coming from a guy who's the former director of the FBI, a guy who spent most of his career prosecuting mobsters and gangsters, people who know and execute other humans and use this exact lingo of 86. Comey himself admitted in his follow-on message that he knew that this was a political statement. Well, the only reason he knew that, Jesse, was because a little over a month ago, a bunch of anti-Trump, anti-Elon Musk protesters were proliferating the use of this 8647 slogan, which was a veiled call to action to murder the sitting president of the United States. So for Comey to think that we, the American people, are so stupid as to think that he, as a former FBI director, former prosecutor, and someone who clearly pays attention to what's going on, would believe his lie that he didn't know what this actually was calling for. The dangerousness of this, Jesse, cannot be underestimated. When we have 2 assassination attempts on the president's life, when we have people who look to guys like Comey, who've been celebrated by MSNBC and the Democrat elite and CNN as the beacon of integrity, the law and order guy, the guy who would tell the truth no matter what the consequences. This is the guy who's issuing a hit on President Trump, the president that the American people voted for. So it's guys like Comey and others who call the president the modern-day Nazi, people who are in great positions of influence, who are saying that President Trump poses an existential threat to our country. These are people who hate democracy and hate the American people because they cannot stand that the people overwhelmingly chose to elect Donald Trump and send him back to the White House. So they are seeking other means to get their way and to try to remove him from that position.
How serious is the administration taking this, and what are the next steps going to be?
We're taking this very seriously. As you mentioned, the Department of Homeland Security, and specifically Sean Curran, the current Secret Service director, a man who has been willing to lay down his life as the lead of President Trump's Secret Service detail for years now. He takes this seriously and is leading the investigation into this threat. There has to be accountability for this. There was a Rutgers study that just came out a little over a month ago, Jesse, that asked respondents their view on these calls to assassinate President Trump. And over 55% of respondents felt that murdering President Trump would be, quote unquote, somewhat justified. This is the effect of people like James Comey doing this kind of stuff. This study also pointed out that there is a quote-unquote assassination culture that is starting to take over the views of what they call the extreme left. We, the American people, cannot take this lightly. Whatever your politics, we cannot allow people to get by without being held accountable for this kind of public call to assassinate the President of the United States.
Do you believe that Comey is goading you guys to come after him because he wants to be a political martyr? He wants to be set up so he can say, oh, look, we were right. Donald Trump is a dictator. They're coming after me. They're arresting me. They're interrogating me. I was just using my free speech.
You know, whatever his intent, I will tell you that there is a guy in Georgia who was issuing threats on my life about a month ago, and he's in jail today. He has been indicted with a crime, as he should have been, and he is in jail as we speak. So whatever James Comey intent, he and people like him need to be held to account according to the law, which is something that he claims to have given his life for and stands by the rule of law. Fantastic. The rule of law says people like him who issue direct threats against the President of the United States, essentially issuing a call to assassinate him, must be held accountable under the law.
Do you believe Comey should be in jail?
I do. Any other person with the position of influence that he has, people who take very seriously what a guy of his stature, his experience, and what the propaganda media has built him up to be, I'm very concerned for the president's life. We've already seen assassination attempts. I'm very concerned for his life. And James Comey, in my view, should be held accountable and put behind bars for this.
Director Gabbard, thank you so much.
James Comey probably will be having to get a lawyer himself if he hasn't lawyered up already. Will he get charged with this? Is this freedom of speech when he puts 8647 in seashells? Now, some people might say, well, that's only saying get rid of the 47th president, Donald Trump, not by force, but by voting. 86 is to remove. Others say 86 means to kill, as if kill, the president of the United States, or a dog whistle for his followers, which he has a lot, to do harm towards the president. I don't think this story goes away, and I think they are taking this serious. And possibly James Comey could be arrested soon, mugshot and all, and go through a federal indictment. We are definitely monitoring this situation on JLR Investigates. What's your thoughts on this entire situation by what I just shared? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if he gets indicted, we'll cover it. Definitely mugshot, maybe even go to his court hearing. James Comey, FBI Director, former. I am JLR Investigates. We'll talk soon. Make sure you sub up to the channel. Stay tuned.